Good morning. Happy Easter Monday. It is Easter Monday, and it's a good day, friend. It's a good day. I had a really good Easter yesterday. Hey, friend, come on in the room. But yeah, I had a good Easter yesterday. Um, Let me move this camera over a little bit because I feel like I'll be looking off to the side. Y'all see me? I had a good Easter, okay? We had barbecue and we had a few family and over and it was good, I hope y'all had a good holiday if you celebrate the holiday. Hopefully you were off. As you come in, make sure you are sharing your where you calling from, if you're taking your board exam and all of those good things. I'm looking for my headphones and I don't see them, but it's all good. Today is going to be open mic day. So I am going to allow you all to ask me questions. I prepared some stuff for you, but it's not going to be like the everyday or the every Monday where I'm just going through my slides. I want to open up the floor and let you all talk back to me and share questions, ask questions, things like that. So as you chime in, make sure you drop your location, when you're taking your board exam, are you certified, all of those good little things. Okay. I am drinking a London fog. And this London fog, I don't have anybody ever had a London fog. It is warm tea, hot tea, steamed milk. I don't drink cow milk. I drink oat milk. They add lavender to it. It comes with vanilla, and I use chamomile tea instead of Earl Grey tea because I don't like a lot of caffeine. And baby, when y'all see me on here on Mondays, I be having this sometimes, not every Monday. I be trying to do things in moderation. So, but yeah, I just thought I would share that because it be helping me. Okay, it's so good, and I don't drink coffee, so it's like my hot drink. When everybody else is drinking coffee. I did want to talk about this, okay? It's on Amazon, all right? It is your farm tech study guide. And a lot of us are struggling with the pharmacy tech exam because y'all are looking at it the wrong way, in my opinion. I seen something the other night that said people who are not afraid to lose will always win. It sounds backwards, but it's so true. You can't be afraid to lose. In order to win, you have to be okay with losing. Um, and this is why certain people always win. And I thought about it, and then I saw something else the other night that was like, when we're doing stuff in life, we should be doing it from the end to the beginning and not from the beginning to the end. And that made me think about, y'all, because I'm always praying for you all to pass your board exam. I'm always thinking about how I can help you and be a better support to you. Um, and I think a lot of times, we make things harder than what it has to be. And I think I'm like, you know what? It this study guide right here is not like any other study guide that you've seen. It's not like anything that you have, and it's very easy and straightforward. Yeah, my kids are home today, so you probably gonna hear them in the background. But yeah, this study guide is not like anything that you've ever seen before, and it's intended to. I created the study guide to ensure that you understood the content and that you understand what is being asked of you. I think sometimes we want to complicate stuff and we want it to be hard because we in our mind feels like things are hard, so everything we do should be hard. And that ain't look, friend, that is not what's up. Okay. I tell people all the time, don't come in here with these problems, these woe is me. I'm not Jesus. I don't have any type of miracles that I can create. And You know, I can't do what you won't do, but what I can do is support you along the way. And so this study guide is real, you know, simple, it's easy, and it's good for friends who told me that they could not afford to pay for our course. So it's a really great buy. When I started, like I work with school districts who also utilize our program to, you know, train high school students. And when I started working with these high schools, I did not have a book or my own curriculum to train off of. I would use other curriculums and things like that. And so I had people ask me like, when are you going to create your own? And when are you going to do it? And I was like, well, I don't really think, you know, that that's for me. I think I'm doing good with where I am, and so on and so forth. And you know how it is when you just kind of downplay stuff yourself because you be feeling like you ain't the one. That's how I was feeling. But anyhow, child, I went and did it, and yeah, it worked. Okay. The next thing I want to talk about again, because I had a call over the weekend, um, is are you eligible to earn your PTCB certification? So, PTCB certification is where you can add the credentials CPHT behind your name. And if you're getting ready to take your board exam, you need to know if you actually are eligible to do it or not. The only thing I didn't add here was if you fail your exam, you have to wait 60 days to take it again. Okay. So you do have to wait 60 days to take it again if you fail the exam. Um, are you eligible to receive it? So there are two pathways. The first pathway is completing a PTCB recognized course, and you can find them on their website. Excuse me. And then the second one is going to be pathway number two, which is where you can work inside the pharmacy and you can receive, um, you know, those hours. And you have to have 500 hours. So let's just say you was working in a pharmacy and you've been in there. Let's say you work in the pharmacy, you're a full-time employee. That means that you would have to be in the pharmacy for 12 weeks before you can use pathway number two. And it says 12 and a half weeks. So 12 and a half weeks, let's put it into months. Let's say we know that there are 30 days in a month and there are 4 weeks in a month. So that would mean that people would need to be in the pharmacy at least 3 months, at least 3 months before they use pathway number two. Okay. I try to make that so clear and easy and cut and dry because I just feel like so many people are struggling with this and they shouldn't be. That's the bottom line. 500 hours, they need to be completed at the time of the application, not I'm about to do it. At the time of the application. Okay. Does anybody have any questions so far? I told y'all that today is going to be a little different. If you don't have any questions, the live won't be long. Um, but I am making myself available to you all today just to kind of do open mic. Okay. Um, Shout out to Octavia. I got this over the weekend too. Okay. Was it the weekend? Because today Monday. I think it was either Thursday or Friday. But anyway, the baby passed her board exam. Okay. She says, I passed my PTCB exam today on the first try. Thanks to your videos. She is in the winner circle. Y'all better tell Octavia, you go, girl, go. Okay? Because the way that people are winning watching this channel, and this is why I do what I do every week with y'all. Now today I done told you I don't have any content like that created because I wanted to make this an open mic day. But I come on every Monday from 11 Central Standard Time to 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I just give to you all. I pour into you, and I do it because I love to see people win. My whole reason is to make sure that you all pass your board exam and that you go into the space of pharmacy where you can be successful. Um, she passed her exam on the first try, and all she did was watch my videos. I had somebody reach out to me the other day and was like, "Can you do some tutorials with us, one-on-one tutorials?" And I said, "Absolutely. I do, offer one-on-one tutorials." And they wanted to know, how often, things like that. So I sent my booking link, and they booked, and we've been working together for a few sessions now. And she's getting ready to take her board exam next week, and I'm sure she'll pass. But one of the things she said to me was, had I never come to your one-on-one sessions, I wouldn't feel as confident as I am right now. And this is her first time taking her board exam. And she said, because the school I went to, they don't break it down and make it easy for me to understand, and they don't relate it to everyday life. And I said, you know what? Thank you so much, for sharing your feedback. I appreciate it. I'm always open to working with you all. One thing I know is that sometimes my friends can always afford my prices, I'm an expert at what I do. I've been a technician for 16 years, I've owned LW for 10 years. And to sit down and have a one-on-one with me is not always in the price bracket that people can afford, and that's fine. That is why I give these free videos every week for people who cannot afford it. I do it because, you know what? There was a time when I couldn't afford certain things. There were a time when I wanted to do certain stuff and I couldn't. And so I get it, but the point is, don't make excuses for why you don't have what you desire. These free videos are out there. I've created a study guide for you. I offer one-on-one sessions, and I offer a 4-week class. If for any reason you haven't been successful at your board exam, you can't continue to point the fingers at other people. Now you have to start looking at you and asking yourself, what is it that I'm doing, or what is it that I'm not doing that I could be doing? Right? You have to start thinking. You got to be honest with yourself. You have to start thinking and saying, you know what? Where could I be right now? If I took full accountability, how would my life be better? Right? And I don't know if y'all know my story, but if this is your first time tuning in and you've never watched, my channel or my videos before, my name is Lindsay and I'm a pharmacy tech. I'm a pharmacy technician who owns a pharmacy technician school. And for the last 10 years, I've had my school. Now, I started pharmacy tech in 2007, and in 2014, I opened my own school. So for 7 years, right? For 7 years, I practiced in the field of pharmacy technician. And this is something I'm going to tell you that's super important is when you start practicing in the field of pharmacy technician or in any field, make sure that you get somewhere, you stay there, and then you find something new. So my goal or my example or what I tell you all the time is every 2 years, you should be finding a new job, right? Where can we can purchase your study guide? Yes, you can purchase the study guide on Amazon. Yep, it will help you. It's only $19.99 and it's super easy. It's designed to boost your comprehension and to boost your confidence. But I tell people all the time, like, you're welcome, friend. When you get somewhere, don't get there and try to anchor in that spot. So people say, well, how are you able to do it in 7 years? in 7 years. It's because every 2 years, sometimes less than two, I would move and find another job. I would find another job with more money that allowed me to do something new with my certification, that challenged me, that allowed me to increase and to be in a new spot than I was in before. That's the thing. I think we as people, in the morning, y'all, my throat is like starting a car. I'm always. But I think we as humans, we are creatures of habit. And when we get into one thing, it's just easier to stay there. And so we don't challenge ourselves and we don't move and do new things that we should do. And because we don't do that, we get stuck. And then we get stuck and we look at our lives 10 to 15 years later and we're like, how in the hell did we get here? Baby, you got there because when it was time to move, you didn't move. The other thing that I will tell you is obviously I'm a Black African American. I prefer Black. So obviously I'm a Black lady, right? I'm a Black female. And um, one of the things that I think about that I have to be careful with is because as Black people, we've gone through so much. It's easy for me as a Black woman to stay somewhere and try to prove myself, right? If someone, tries to give me a hard time or do something to me that I don't necessarily agree with or tell me I can't do something, I try to stay in the past. I would stay in that spot to prove them wrong. And a few years ago, and really here a few years ago, and then it can't circle back around to me a few months ago, is like life doesn't have to be hard, right? Life doesn't have to be hard, and life doesn't have to be where you're constantly in competition, trying to prove to someone or somebody who said you can't do something, you're trying to prove to them that you can do it. And I say that to say, like, sometimes I think we stay too long in certain spots because we're trying to prove that we can do it. We're trying to prove that we are good. We're trying to get some sort of validation from certain people. And it when things get tough, sometimes things get hard in life because it's letting us know, like, hey, the road you're on isn't working. Let's shift. And I think a lot of times we try to force things. We try to force things because we feel like, I think we've been told the harder you work, the more reward you get. If you work hard, you'll get a better reward. And I am just a firm believer that everything in life doesn't have to be hard. Now there are some things that are going to be hard. Childbirth is hard, right? I had two kids and I had two kids without any epidural. So I know. And my second child, he was 9 pounds and like 2 ounces. And my first kid, he was 7'1", and he was very long. But I had my first son at 19. So I know about childbirth. That's hard. But everything else in life doesn't have to be hard. And I think a lot of times we go after what is so hard because we think that the harder it is, the bigger the reward. And then when you get there and the reward doesn't match the struggle, then you become frustrated. And I just think that everything in life doesn't have to be ridiculously hard and challenging. Sometimes when you are facing especially in workplaces, let me just say it, in workplaces, when you're working somewhere and people don't value what you bring to the table, and you're constantly trying to improve or impress your boss, all the time, or whoever, your supervisor, because you're like, I can do this, I know this job, whatever, whatever, and you're constantly trying to impress them, and you spend a lot of time doing that, and then what? They still don't respect you. They still don't value you. They still don't promote you when the promotion comes up. But you're still there like a little person, a little dog behind their owner. Love me, pick me, pick me. I heard somebody say the other day, trying to be a pick Misha. want to, and basically a person who wants to be picked. And y'all, sometimes when people don't recognize your value, whether it's at work, whether it's in a relationship, whether it is a friendship, whatever it is, if your value isn't being seen, it could be family. Sometimes you need to distance yourself. And if it's a job, leave. Leave. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get why people stay places that they're not loved in, they're not appreciated in, they're not valued in. Why do we do that as humans? We're so busy wanting to be accepted that we will stay somewhere and accept some sort of treatment that doesn't value who, that doesn't represent who we are as individuals. And you know what that does to you? When you stay in a place that you shouldn't be in, it lowers your self confidence. So when you get ready to do something new, you're too scared to do it because you've received all of this verbal abuse. Verbal abuse can come in so many different forms. People think that physical abuse is the worst, but verbal and emotional abuse will live with you forever. When I was growing up, they would say something like, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words would never hurt me." That's that's a lie. Sticks and stones will break your bones, and words will too. Okay, words will penetrate you, and they will be with you for years to come. And all of us right now who are listening in this room can think of one negative thing that somebody has said to them that has stayed with them for all the way up until now. I know I can. I can think of multiple things that someone said to me or people have said to me that I can still remember the emotion it created at the time, right? And so I am just a firm believer, like when you're not loved and you're not appreciated and you're not wanted, leave, friend, leave. And that is what y'all need to do when y'all get certified. Get certified. If you start in retail pharmacy, go to the retail pharmacy, get the experience that you need, that you desire. And this is what I would do. Once you get certified, you go to the retail pharmacy and you get hired, you're there. Let's say you're there at year one. You make 1 year there. Baby, when you make that 1 year, then the next few months, start looking. Make sure you go in and you update your resume. Go in and update your resume. Add the job duties. Let me give y'all a secret on how to update your resume. When you update your resume, a lot of times we don't know the job. Uh, we can't say everything we do every day because we just get used to doing it, and it's just um, things that come natural. Like you're like, okay, well, whatever. How do I put down my everyday job description or my everyday job role on a resume? The best way to do that is to Google your job, right? So if you work for Walmart Pharmacy, go to Google and put Walmart Pharmacy Technician job description. Google this Walmart Pharmacy Technician job description. It's going to populate. It may not populate for a Walmart in your area, and that's fine because Walmart is a chain or a franchise or whatever, and it's pretty much a chain. And when you see that, it may be a job description for Washington, and you may be in California, and that's fine because they're all pretty much the same. You can copy and paste that job description, read through it to make sure that it is what you actually do, and then put that on your resume. That way, you are not missing any of the language that they're using. Because a lot of times, if you are one of those people who type like you talk, and so like when I'm talking to y'all, I talk very natural and normal and calm. But when I'm writing, I write different because you need to write for the reader. So anyhow, if you struggle with putting into words your day-to-day responsibilities, then just Google your job description, copy and paste it, make sure it's what you do, and then add it to your resume. And when you make that year one at that retail pharmacy, You should begin going into your resume and updating it. Go into your resume and update it, right? Your resume should be on ready. Baby, your resume should be on ready at all times because you just never know when somebody will reach out to you and say, friend, there's a job, opening at such and such. It's a new pharmacy. They just started and they just asked me if I knew somebody else who was a technician. Send me your resume real quick. And then you say, I don't even have my resume not updated. There go your excuse. You see what I'm saying? Because you weren't ready for the moment. Now you got this. I got. Dang, I don't even have my resume updated. I gotta go find my resume, this, that, and the third. These people trying to hire somebody by next week. They paying a sign-on bonus and they're gonna be paying you $5 extra than what you're making right now. And you trying to get your resume together because you wasn't ready. I tell my kids at home all the time, stay ready so you ain't gotta get ready. Baby, stay ready so you ain't gotta get ready, okay? You never know when it's gonna be your opportunity. You never know when it's gonna be your time. You see what I'm saying? So when you get into your pharmacy tech field, every 2 years you ought to have a new job. And your new career should be advancing you. Bam, climbing up that ladder. Bam, bam. People say, how was you able to open up your school in 7 years? Let me tell you the experience I got in 7 years as a pharmacy tech. I worked at a pediatric pharmacy. Pediatric, y'all know that's kids. I worked at a retail pharmacy. I worked at an IV compounding pharmacy where I compounded medications for them. Mhm. I worked at a hospital and I worked at a health insurance plan. I did medication reconciliation. People say, how you did? Bam, gone. I'm gone. I'm gone. They can't catch me. They can't catch me. I'm gone. They can't catch me. They can't catch me. I'm gone. And then right before I started my pharmacy tech school, y'all, I worked for the government. And the government office that I worked for was in Denver. And I live in Houston. And when I was working for the government, I was pregnant with my second child. And I left the hospital because let me tell you something. I was working at the hospital and I probably was 23, maybe 24. When I had my second child, I was 25. So I must have been maybe 23 or 24, somewhere around there. But baby, the people at the hospital was giving me a hard time. I was young and I used to go out every night. Not every night, but it's 7 days a week. So I probably went out 4 days a week. Just like every night. And so anyway, I would be tired, sleepy in the morning time. And so sometimes I get to work, I'll be 5 minutes late. I might be 5 minutes late. Or if my job started at 8 o'clock, they wanted me to be in my seat ready to start at 8. This is when I was working at the hospital, at the health insurance plan. So they started bothering me, started saying, oh, we're gonna write you up, whatever, whatever. And not only would I be sleeping from going out the night before, but I had a toddler. Y'all know I had that my first child at 19. So what grade that little baby was in? He probably was. He had to be. Yeah, he was like a toddler. Because I would be dropping him off at his little daycare school. So by the time I get there, I'd be kind of late or whatever. So they started writing me up. I already knew they didn't like me. You know how you can feel the vibe, you can feel the energy. So I was like, yeah, they don't like me, whatever. So at the time, my husband now, he was my boyfriend then. I was like, they don't like me in my job or whatever. And you know, I'm probably gonna quit. And I would be complaining to him in the morning time. And y'all, one morning he was like, can I pray for you? And he was my boyfriend at the time. And I was like, yes, you can pray for me. Baby, I went to work. I told the other people who was working with me. They was like, oh, yeah, that's going to be your husband. Anyway, I digress. So I could feel that these people didn't really care for me. And I was like, you know what? I need to start looking for another job. Now, I told you every 2 years, bam. So at this time, I started looking for another job, and I think I probably was applying. I probably was okay. So anywho, when I found out I was pregnant, I was still working there. And I'm trying to remember the timeline, but when I started looking for a job, I think it may have taken me a month. It feels like it happened fast, but in the moment it don't feel like that. But anyway, I can't remember how long it took me, but the point is those people started treating me some type of way. And I knew that they didn't really like me like that. I could feel the energy. So I started looking for jobs. And just so happened the job that I found, my mom actually sent me the job. And they were hiring for a field worker, somebody to be in the field to go into the different appointments. And then they had a supervisor. So I applied for both jobs. I had never been a supervisor in my life, never ever. And I was like, well, I'm just going to apply for both. So I applied for both, and I got the call back for the supervisor position. Baby, 24, finna be a supervisor. I ain't know what to do. So anyway, I ended up interviewing and I got the job. And the training was in Denver, Colorado. So they flew me to Denver. And did you see what I'm saying? This is why I'm telling y'all. When I be telling y'all stuff, I be telling y'all, I don't tell it to you to try to just like just tell you something somebody else told me. I'm not just gassing y'all. I'm telling y'all what really be happening and what really could happen for you. You got to make sure you stay in a place where you always want it. You got to make sure you stay in a place where you don't mind getting out there and going to go get it. You know what I'm saying? Don't get complacent because you never know what's out there waiting for you. Now, somebody else who didn't have a supervisor history probably wouldn't have applied for the supervisor position because they would have been, well, I ain't never been no supervisor before. I don't know what to do. Look, I tell y'all all the time, when you get that job, they're gonna train you because every job, every organization has their own way of doing things. You don't have to be an expert in order to apply for the job, as long as you qualify for it. I don't know what qualified me to be a supervisor for the government, but I was. And let me tell you something. So this job, I was a supervisor and I was flown to Denver. Now, by the time I got the job and I started the training, I was showing a little bit, but not a whole lot. So what I did was I wore some baggy clothes because I ain't want nobody to know I was pregnant. Because I was like, I don't want them to think, oh, well, she pregnant, she ain't gonna be able to do the job. So when we in Denver, I'm out there, and anybody who knows anything about the altitude, it's totally different in Houston than it is there. But I was cool. I ain't get sick or nothing. Both of my pregnancies was good. I didn't have morning sickness like that. So anyway, I'm out there, I'm meeting the people, and y'all, I'm in the room, and I'm the youngest person in the room. I'm like 24 at the time. Yeah, 24. I think I was 24. Yeah, 24. The youngest person in the room. I No, y'all, I was 25 because my son was born in September, so that would have been 9 months, and I was pregnant when I started the job. Uh, so anyway, I 24 to 25. I'm trying to get the timeline right, but it was between that time. The youngest person in the room, baby, they gave me everything I needed to know. They sent me a computer. They sent me a computer. They sent me a little printer. They had these people come to my house and set up everything in my house. So when I started working for the people, I was supervising these people and I worked from home because the job was in Denver, Colorado. That's where my office was. but I worked from home. My boss worked in Denver and I worked from home. This was in 2012, 2013. See, I've been working from home since been working from home. This is what I'm telling y'all. I promise I ain't lying to you. I swear. It's 2024 and this whole work from home thing is like a huge thing. But I was doing it, I did this a long time ago. And let me tell you something. I truly believe that working from home prepared me to have my own business because what it did was it taught me how to be in control of myself. I had to become my own manager. I had to become my own, supervisor, my own training person in a sense. And I had to supervise and manage myself. And I didn't have anybody to do that. You know what I'm saying? And so every morning we had these little check-in calls, and we had different things that we had to do. Um, but it taught me how to govern myself. And that was in 2013, 2012, where in 2014, I started my pharmacy technician school. Because when I had the baby, my husband came to me and said, I don't want you to continue to work. I want you to figure something out because my husband used to do a lot of working out of town. And his background is oil and gas. So he would always be traveling to do different things out of town. And he's like, well, if I'm out of town and you got to be at a job, who's going to help the kids? So he was like, I just want you to find something that you can start. So I started praying, and I was already out on maternity leave and things like that. And no, I wasn't out on maternity leave. The I was already off. Basically, I was off. And so the little boy, my 10-year-old, was a little baby. So I just started praying and asking God. And y'all, because my 10-year-old was a newborn or like months, he would wake up in the middle of the night to want a bottle. And so sometimes it'd be 4 o'clock in the morning, sometimes it'd be 5 o'clock in the morning. Well, at that time, the whole house would be quiet. And that would be my time to pray and my time to meditate and to get an understanding of what I should be doing. And that's how, in my prayer time and things like that, the school came about. And so I'm telling y'all, that every decision leads to another decision. This decision leads to that decision, and that decision leads to this decision. And if you don't put yourself in a place to grow, you will continue to be in a place of stagnation. Stretch for the moon. Go as high as you can. Okay. Um, do don't ever stay in a place that you are not wanted, loved, and appreciated because y'all, it has a long lasting effect on your psyche. When you stay somewhere where you're not supported, loved, and appreciated, it affects this. I ain't telling you what somebody told me. I ain't telling you what I seen. I'm telling you what has happened to me. And so now people will tell you. And look, I told somebody this the other day. I said the way that you're experiencing me is not the same way that somebody else has experienced me. You may be like, I love Lindsay. Lindsay is so motivating. She's so encouraging. She's so helpful. She's friendly. She's kind. She's always ready to help us pass our board exam. That's the experience you're having with me. Somebody else who know me in another capacity may say Lindsay be having an attitude, or Lindsay got these boundaries. In order to be around Lindsay, you got to do this and you got to do that. And I just ain't got time for all that. Lindsay be wanting you. That's the experience they having. Everybody experiences me in a different way because I have different ways that I show up in whatever capacity I'm in. If I'm around friends, I'm this way. If I'm around you, and it's not even somebody say, oh, so you always changing. It's not even that I'm always changing. It's that I show up in the space that I'm in for that particular time and moment. And then when I'm in another space, I need to show up in that space, so on and so forth. And that's how you need to be. That's how you need to be. Yeah. My husband experiences, my kids experience me totally different because for my children, I'm a mother. For my husband, I'm a wife, right? So it's always, it's never going to be the same. People are not going to experience you the same way. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I think that you show up in the space that you need to show up in when you need to show up in that space, if that makes sense. I say that to say continue to grow and don't ever get stuck in one spot. You know what I mean? Because, friend, you have so much to give and you are a beautiful person. And there are people in the world who are waiting to meet you. They're waiting to see you. They're waiting to get from you what you've been blessed to give. But if you don't keep migrating, growing, expanding, putting yourself in positions where you can be seen, then you're going to put yourself in a position where you're hidden, right? And your gifts and talents won't be shown. And you'll always be looking at other people. How did they do this? How did they get that? Right? Mm-mm. No, friend. Let me check something right quick because I thought I heard something. But yeah, I don't want y'all to just like you gonna come and you gonna get your certification and then go do something with it. You get certified, cool. Go do something with it. But don't stay here. Don't stay here and then, you think that that's the very end. No, friend. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. There is so much that you can have. So much you can have, so much you can be, so much you can become, right? So today, like I know some people are probably trying like jumping in and jumping out. They're like, what is Lindsay in there doing? Child, we just talking. We just talking and getting to know each other. I took a class already. I just need something to help me refresh, but you to go. Thank you, friend. I appreciate that. I mean, look, let me tell y'all something. I appreciate the love and I'll never deny it. Like I say, this is the experience y'all are having with me. And I try to come on and I try to be my authentic self. And the reason I teach the way that I teach is because growing up in school, I didn't feel super smart. I'm telling y'all probably like, girl, I'm telling you, I didn't feel super smart. Um, one of the things that had me really questioning myself is because when I was 5 years old, my dad left, right? He left me and my mom, and so I grew up in a single parent home. Well, everybody that I knew, they had both parents. And so they had both parents, and I would always be like, well, why is my dad not here with me? Where is my dad? And so on and so forth. And thank you so much for the conversation and advice. I don't know you, but you have a warm spirit, heart, finger red, number one. Thank you. I see you was using some emojis. Thank you, friend. I appreciate that. I try. Like I said, my dad. I rekindled my relationship with my dad. So he left when I was 5. I My first time talking to him again, I was 19. And my first time seeing him in my life, I was turning 26. So it was right after I had my son and I opened the school and all of that. And so, anyway, because he left when I was 5, I walked around and I had such low self esteem. And so that low self esteem showed up in my school, it showed up in my friendships, it showed up in me and my relationship with my mom. And it was just a very challenging time. My childhood was very challenging for me. So when y'all reference me as the GOAT, or so helpful, she's so intelligent, she's so smart, I'm sharing this with you to let you know that I didn't grow up this way. I didn't grow up, this didn't come overnight. This isn't something that I was born into, you know what I mean? Like, this is something that I've just developed over time. And the reason why I teach the way I do is because I know what it feels like to be sitting in a freaking classroom and you like, this ain't making sense to me. And you start feeling like you slow and feeling like you dumb. And you be like, what the hell? What is going on? Why is everybody else in the classroom getting it but me? And you start thinking that you're not good enough, and you start doubting yourself, and now you don't think you're gonna be able to do pharmacy tech and all them old negative thoughts that come through your mind. And that is who I'm for. I'm for them. I'm for y'all. I'm for the people who thought like me, who felt like, well, look, everybody in this classroom getting this problem right but me. So maybe this ain't for me. Maybe I need to be doing such and such and so and so. And I just know what that feels like. And so I'm always trying to make sure that I show myself um like that I be transparent and that I am showing you all, you know, you don't have to be an A honor roll student. You don't have to be, you know, the best student in the classroom in order to do this. You just have to have a little common sense, and you have to let your past experiences work for your future experiences, right? For where you're going. Um, and that's that. I feel like I hear something. Hold on, right quick. Papa, go to the garage and see if there's something out there. Y'all, my 16, my kids are here. I told y'all my kids was here. Check in the garage and see if it's see if you see anybody out there. I don't know. My husband might be in the garage. So yeah, so that's why I try to make sure that when I'm teaching. He out there? Okay. I know I'm seeing girl, he supposed to be gone, but he's still here. But anyway, that's why I try to make sure that when I'm teaching in a way that everybody can understand it because I know what it feels like, you know. Um, but we've been on live for 47 minutes. I know some of y'all have to get back to work. I do want to make sure we stay in contact. So make sure you are following me on TikTok. I do lives on TikTok, and then also join the Facebook study group. The Facebook study group does require you to put your email address in there. So make sure you put your email address in order to be accepted into the group. I've had some friends be like, Lindsay, I don't apply to be in this group 3 times and I keep getting denied. And it's because the system is designed that if you don't as your email address, it will deny you. Yes, I was supposed to call you, but forgot. Girl, are you the one that's supposed to call you? You playing? You playing games? Call me, girl. Call me. But anyway, friend, I hope y'all have a beautiful week. I hope that this conversation helped you. And if you think of anything, you know, that you have any questions on or whatever, just drop them in this video, drop them in the comments, and we will talk. Okay. Love y'all so much. Have a great week and do something this week that advances you. It doesn't just have to be with pharmacy, it could be anything, but something that gets you closer to your dreams, something that gets you closer to the money you want to make, to the house you want to have, to the kids you want to be with, the kids you want to have, whatever it is that you are reaching and striving for, do something that will get you closer. Okay. I love y'all so much. Thank you for trusting me and for being here today. I will see y'all next week. Bye.